Carl, Brennan, Dan, and Lou here from Games, Brains, and a Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it's Bloodstock 2023 band review time. We are going to be talking about the bands we saw at Bloodstock 2023, giving you our thoughts, whether we enjoyed them, things we liked, things we didn't, and so on and so forth. Blah, blah, blah. You can read these, our thoughts as well, on the website. All of those are up now as by the time this video comes out. But hey, some people want to listen to us and watch us talk, a handful of people, so might as well give it to them as well. We'll start with a Thursday, where, of course, it was one stage and one stage alone. Sophie Lancaster stage, and I'll just get started with this. I saw two bands, for sure. I remember nothing of either, except losing my Fitbit in Frozen Soul. I know I pitted in it. It's the only pit I did because I was wasted. And I know I watched a bit of Vision Atlantis and didn't really enjoy them because I thought the sound was muddy. But that is where my memory fucking ends. Yeah, so you? Thursday.
Frozen Soul was the first band for me.
Yep.
Well, we saw them together.
Did we? Good for us.
I saw a bit of King 810.
Okay.
Didn't really get what the fuss was. They had a bit more stage show about them.
Where was I during this? Because Dan also saw King 810. You saw King. Where the fuck was I?
I remember
certain you were stood next to me. No,
I remember you specifically saying to me, because me and Gemma weren't, that you was going to go and check out some of King 810.
Shocking.
I swear, I remember you being stood next to me.
Was I swaying?
Probably.
No, music or just generally?
Just do not remember. That is terror. I remember nothing. Absolutely. Okay, carry on.
Bit of Vision of Atlantis, but I don't really remember much about them. Skinned, I didn't see because I saw them supporting Iceland Kills. I didn't really care for them, so I didn't check them out again. But yeah, I didn't see much. I think I've seen more on previous Thursdays. This is a bit of a weaker one for me, Thursday-wise, but
it was a weaker one, yeah.
That was just my personal thing on it.
Okay, Dan, you go next then.
I saw King 810 a little bit, but I left pretty quickly, I think. I was more interested because I had when I went to see Alpha Wolf, it was King 810, 1056, Alpha Wolf. And the difference, I thought King 810 were playing, but it was actually 1056. So I had missed them that time. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll check them out. They were touring with Alpha Wolf. They're probably a little bit like
on that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't know. I couldn't see where any of the band was. I could just see like some dude dressed up as Boris on a podium.
Oh, okay.
Mostly, and I wasn't sure where the band was, so there wasn't much for me to watch.
Was that all you saw on Thursday? Didn't stay at Civic, Atlantis, or Skinned?
All I saw.
Okay. I'll left Brendan to the end because I know he's got. I know you actually saw bands.
I mean, I saw that. Yeah, I saw three. We didn't see the Violent Incident, obviously. I would have quite liked to see them because I listened to them a bit beforehand, but we were interviewing, which is fine. So Frozen Soul was the first band. You know, I quite enjoyed them as a first band. I think I probably wouldn't have enjoyed them as much if it had been later on in the festival, but I think because it would have started just, it would have just felt like another band, but because they were the first one, the sort of heavy, cold music, noisiness was pretty cool. I didn't watch King 810 or 810 or 810 or whatever the fuck you're meant to say. I don't know. I did watch Visions of Atlantis. I'm a fan of Visions of Atlantis. I thought it was one of the first experiences of the mic issues. So it was muddy. You said you remembered it slightly being muddy. It was, but I stayed. We watched most of that and I enjoyed it. It did kind of correct itself after a while. I went back and watched probably 2 or 3 tracks of Skin through Intrigue. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, so I didn't go inside the Sophie 10. I sort of stood on the, where the kind of hanging down bits were on the outside of it to watch from there. I found it to be quite fascinating to watch while simultaneously struggling to shake the feeling that this was industrial, yes, but not industrial metal, and I still couldn't quite see how it fitted there. But I will say that there was a very, very big crowd for them, and everyone who was in the tent seemed to be absolutely having it and having a great time. The singer sounded great. The person who's doing the drums and about 400 other sort of fucking effect pedals and shit all around him was clearly very talented. So it wasn't like, oh, this is shit. It was I still came out of that with an intrigue thing, a little bit like, it's quite fascinating to watch it all, while I'll probably not choose to listen to it. But if they were at a festival again and nothing else was on, I wouldn't be adverse to going along and checking out a bit more, is the truth. So
Yeah, I do have a little bit of regret not seeing them. I think at that stage, you and I, Dan, were wandering through the normal campsites trying to find some friends until I gave up, and then the rest is history. So, yeah.
I actually completely forgot that I did see Frozen Soul.
Oh,
I completely forgot that I did actually see them.
left an impression then.
I mean, I remember enjoying them. It was heavy. It was the sort of stuff I do enjoy. You know, it led more into my territory than your guys, I feel like. But I don't know if that's because I was definitely quite drunk. It's Thursday.
Okay, right. So we'll jump to Friday then. And how we'll do this is basically we'll try and do it in order of bands as they go through the day. So basically, if you see one, if you've got a Clash Finder up or the lineup, stop me there. So I can go with the first band I saw of the day, which is on the Sophie Lancaster stage, which was Bloodyard. They were a good start to the day. Again, the sound was a bit iffy here and there, but I enjoyed the energy. I thought it was a nice heavy start there. Obviously, you have the first slot of that day, so you've got to get people up and moving. People were game. Yeah, I enjoyed them.
I really enjoyed them as well. Yeah, good start to the day.
yeah, second, third, or thirded.
I was seeing Shoot to Kill the exact same time. They were great. They were good. They were heavy, hardcore noise. Very early in the morning, 10:30. I say
Yeah.
early in the morning. Brendan's been up for like fucking 8 hours by that point.
Oh, it's early, Dan. I agree.
But like they might have struggled with the energy of the crowd a bit. The energy was certainly there for them. They were good. Yeah.
Okay, I think the next band, at least a couple of us saw, was Wolf Bastard, who followed Bloodyard under Sophie's stage. I was really looking forward to this, man. It's not my first go with this band. We saw them at the New Cross Inn a few last year. They were great there, so I was a bit more familiar with their sort of D-beat punk mixed with black metal. And this is a band that's perfect for Bloodstock. It's aggressive, it's intense, it's drunken silliness to a degree. Great guys to talk to as well in the interview. A lot of fun. Yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah, second to that one. Yeah, wouldn't have missed them.
Yeah, I thought they were good fun. I haven't seen them before. I did enjoy it. I thought it was noisy silliness to a degree, while simultaneously at the same time thinking, God, like musically they're a bit shit, aren't they? Which I know is probably harsh. I don't mean it that way, but like it almost comes with the style, I think, which is a bit like we're loose and you know that sort of thing. But I found them entertaining to watch.
Okay.
I was seeing Apathy.
Yeah, how were they?
They were great. They were really, really good, and I was super proud of them for like seeing how far they've come. At one point, they had a bunch of on the stage of pillows that they'd spray painted their logo on, and for one song they threw them all out and had everyone have a massive pillow fight. And I think they definitely left an impression on the crowd that was there. They were really, really good. I managed to get right to the front and just watch.
Banging. I'm so glad. I really, yeah, it was a clash that hurt me a little bit. Right, did anybody see Witch Hazel or Hate? All right, Brendan, take it away.
I think Lou saw Witch Hazel as well. We were both standing there, weren't we? So I didn't know anything about them. I saw the word witch and I just assumed this is gonna be Doom, isn't it? But I don't know what they were really. They had a bit of a kind of classic kind of rocky vibe to them. They were all dressed in white. Cameraman needs to be a little bit more cautious with the close shots of crotches when they're all in white. You know, because they're very, very, very big screens. We don't really need like that big a close up of his guitar playing area. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering how perfect.
Yeah. I found them to be quite fun to watch. Actually, I thought they were okay. I quite liked them. So yeah, good rocking sort of stuff.
I don't know anything about them. They're English. Very sort of Colby rock kind of. Yeah, I enjoyed them. Yeah.
And Hate, which I came back and spoke to you afterwards. That was kind of coming up to interview time, which I went in there not really knowing anything about Hate. I think we talked or generally in the group and been like, we didn't know an awful lot about them. I actually thought they might be more like a hardcore sort of band, but or a death metal band or something like that. And then when I went across there and saw they were all like corpse painted up, and I was like, oh, cool. And I thought they were fantastic, really, really good. Sounded really, really powerful, really, really strong. So yeah, impressed.
Black Coast on the Sophie, probably not because that clash between which Dan. What about you? You're muted.
I wanted to check them out, but I don't know what I was doing. Something else. I didn't want to check them out though.
Oh, did you check out Iridium or Arms to Oblivion?
No, I did not.
Okay, then you were with me for the Enigma division, half of the Enigma division. Remember this? Sophie stage? Tech Death?
I think
Phenomenal.
maybe.
Oh, mate, you remember me turning to you and saying, oh my God, like this was one of the times where the Sophie stage did not let me down because they've got intricate detail in their songs and I could hear everything. It was so good that I generally considered like not rushing over to see Locust and just staying with the Enigma division. I watched about 15 minutes of it before heading off, but I loved it. I thought they were phenomenal. Then I think we all ended up at Locust, right?
Mm.
Someone else want to take it away then for Locust?
Yeah, I came in for like the last 15 minutes of it. We didn't go see the Enigma division. We went to get something to eat, I think.
Yep.
I came in for the last 15 minutes, but still didn't see the whole of Locust. But the bit that I did see, I thought they were great. Good energy, sounded good. As a lot of things did in the New Blood. So yeah, enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah, I loved them.
They had a good crowd.
Yeah, they were really,
Really
really
strong
strong. Yeah,
crowd,
really,
yeah.
really strong. Were you with us for Locust, Dan?
I was not.
What were you doing? Do you remember?
God knows. I'm looking at the Clash Finder.
We were coming up to interviews, so there's a big section now where none of us, of the three of us, aside from Lou, didn't see anything. So Lou, right, well, I know your next one would have been the Summit Fever, right?
Yeah.
So talk about the Summit Fever. Gutted I missed them.
Yeah, really. Oh, yeah. So it was my first chance on the Jaeger stage.
Yep.
See how it looked this year. Yeah, really good bands. Like they really deserved that slot. Really got close to the front as well. Sort of fuzzy rock, two-piece. They're just really, really good.
Who else in that section?
Oh God, it's really bad. I put my hand up. We didn't see anything in that section.
What were you doing? Just chilling? Oh, you were just chilling out. Yeah, you were just chilling.
We
Yeah.
didn't see Garia, so.
So we're all coming back in for Garia, basically. Dan, what were you doing during Garia? Were you watching him?
I don't think I did see that. I think I did come to see them.
I think I remember you being there.
Was this
Memories, man. This is good. We're on fire here. Well, let's talk about.
I think actually I was at New Blood waiting for Street Soldier, so I was watching Head Press, I think.
Right. We'll talk about Head Press then. Do you remember much?
No.
Fair enough. Garia then, one of the bands of the weekend. I had high expectations, but this blew me away. You know, the black metal, the absolute like the commanding of the stage, the way they infuse energy into that music, it was incredible. They probably that flew by. They could have played longer and I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, I'd put them down as like the probably the band like the find of the weekend for me. You know, like I thought they were absolutely amazing. Loved the sound. I found the front man absolutely captivating to watch as well. So yeah, thought they were phenomenal. Loved it.
Is he? Did it come up that is he classically trained in dance or like drama or movement? Because the way he moves is.
I was showing some videos to Rose, who obviously does dancing, and she could name what she felt was some moves that she felt like she was like, oh wow, he's very good. Oh his and then she'd name a move is really accurate. So I feel like possibly yeah.
He did say in the interview if he feels like it, he'll do it.
No, it was really special to watch.
It was easily one of our, the fact we're all in agreement here. Brendan, you can take In Flames then, considering this is your next watch. And I thought they were phenomenal. You know, I genuinely felt like, I mean, it helps that they were popular. There were a lot of people there for it. There's a good crowd for it. They got a lot of a big back catalogue. The sound was great. They just looked like they were in a good place as a band and were really, really going for it. Very, very happy, very smiley. Great banter with the crowd. Like it's funny. People were laughing. It felt like, you know, it could have been a headliner. It felt like that sort of level. So yeah, I had a wonderful time. I thought it was phenomenal. And I'm not even that big an In Flames fan, so there you go. Yeah, I did catch a little bit of them after Street Soldier, and it sounded like it was on form. I think I said that to you at the time. They sounded like they were on form. But we are going to talk about Street Soldier, another potential band of the weekend. Was really looking forward to this. Not too big, obviously, on a lot of the elements of hardcore and all that, but I stayed away from that pit. But this was fucking phenomenal. This was incredible. I think what's really warmed me to them more is that it's not like we hate everything and we hate you and we want you just to stomp each other's face into the ground. It's like it is that, but it's not that. Yeah, I loved them. I had a great time. And this again, it flew by. 30 minutes was not enough. Dan.
Oh, they were fucking fantastic. I can't sing their praises enough. I've never seen them before. And that was fantastic. I would love to see them again as soon as physically possible. Street Soldier was so good. I had loads of fun in that pit. I really enjoyed everything they played.
I really enjoyed them. With the hardcore, I think I do get put off by the crowds.
Of course.
So I'm always a little bit of a love-hate with you. Just I don't want you warming up to spin kick me. Like,
of course.
No. So no. But it's always good. I like it the fact with that Gemma comes with us as well, and Gemma appreciates Street Soldier as well. So that's cool with this band that like we all get into.
Yeah, of course.
They really enjoyed it.
She loved them, yeah. She still talks positively about them.
I'm good with that impression. It's a shame, like I said, I'm sure you would have wanted to see them, but
I would have wanted to see them, but you know, like it works both ways, doesn't it? On one side, I would have wanted to see them, on the other side, I wish you guys had come see it in Flames. You know, so it works both ways, doesn't it? Sometimes you got to do this shit.
Yeah, because Gary crossed into In Flames as well, so it's like there was nothing really there. Listen, random tangent, but we have now seen the pinnacle of wanky hardcore dancing at Octangent. Was during Grief Ritual, wasn't it? There was
yeah, that makes sense.
Basically, he was doing handstands. And he was the only one in a big circle doing handstands and upside down flips. It was basically an athletic show. And I thought he looked like a cunt, putting it simply. Yeah, but there you go. All right, headliners, Killswitch Engage. Right, look, I get it. I know they're beloved and all that, but they're not really my jam these days. I can hear the music, I can enjoy the music, but after a while, I get quickly burned out on Killswitch Engage. Unfortunately, that is exactly what I expected to happen, and it is what happened. I felt like they belonged on that stage. I watched them, and I thought, God, yeah, this was an obvious choice, and they will be a Bloodstock headline in the future. They brought a headline show to a degree. I perhaps don't find Corned Beef Balls and Corned Beef Box as funny as others do, but that's Killswitch way. I'm aware of that. It's a little bit of childish humor rather than, do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I love that people loved it. I really love that people loved it. I got bored. So I watched, I think it was about half an hour of it, and then we went to the Shisha tent for a bit. So not for me, really.
As I put in my interview, the one song I did want to hear, they played first. And
What was that?
My Curse.
Oh.
I didn't hear it. And that's more my fault than theirs. But it's okay. It's metalcore.
Lou?
Yeah, I've just got to think I've like moved on from Killswitch now.
That's all it is for me. Yeah.
I think the amount of music I listen to now that's got a lot more intricate to it. That sounds really snobby, but there's a time for Killswitch and a few songs, fine, but a whole headline set, like I said, got a bit wearing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think for me, I've never had a point in my life where I was a Killswitch fan. That's the truth. It's never been that point in my life. I know a couple of the hits like My Curse, Road to Turin, all that sort of stuff, you know, and I think they're okay songs. But they do fall into that category of band for me that I don't particularly like them or care for them, but I don't dislike them in any way whatsoever, and I'm completely happy for them to be there. I'm completely happy for them to have that slot, no issue with that whatsoever, and happy to just watch a bit of it and then go and chill out somewhere else. So not bitching and moaning that they were headliners at all. I think fair play. A lot of people seem to like it, so that's obviously a good booking. And like you said, they at least put the effort in and tried to, make a headline performance out of it. So
there it is. Remember, people, if you've been watching us for years talking about Bloodstock, you'll know that we put very little score on the headliners. We would like them, obviously, to be bands we adore because there's nothing else playing when they play, but it is not the decision-making Bloodstock part when I'm like, oh my God, the headliners are all bands we don't want to see, because Jesus, this year was very much that. It's the undercard as much as anything else. And that brings us to Candlemas, which I watched. I think watched about 5 songs of theirs. Watched a significant amount in the 10, and yeah, it was a bucket list band. I thought they were awesome. For like how tight they were for that old school doomy sound, exactly hazy, smoky, lights flickering in between, them being an older sort of movement, but still sounding so very, very, very on point. It was really, I thought it was really, really good.
I didn't realise how long they've been going for a while.
Yeah, they've been around a while.
So, but I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I watched a couple of tracks as well. I wasn't with you guys. I think me and Gemma stayed on the outside, so we just watched a little bit from the outside.
Yep.
I thought they were really, really good too. They said, you know, I'm not a fan of Doom generally, but I do like the sort of more traditional Doom. So, you know, in that way, it was, I guess, a bucket list band for me. So that's why we kind of went and checked some out, and I thought they sounded great.
And I'm going to guess that Dan did not see Candlemas.
I went to bed.
Yes. No, I'm pretty sure when we came back to the tent, you were sitting outside it, so I don't think you went to bed.
Oh, I think I had got into bed, and then I heard you guys, and I came out.
Ah, okay. Sorry. Oh, that brings us to Saturday, and I'll get started again with the first band I saw of the day, which is Ambrius. With that sort of symphonic edge that they've got, that could have really failed in a Sophie tent, but again, it was on point that morning. I thought it sounded great. It was nice and heavy start as well, but with layers, really cool layers in their music. Really enjoyed them.
I didn't know that voice came out of that guy. So
Yeah.
it went high. I was like, so it's an extra layer. So that made him stand out to me, because obviously a lot of bands can start to kind of cross over. So to have that edge was quite nice.
Yeah, same for me actually. I didn't really know anything about Ambrius, so when I was watching them at the beginning, and I was like, all right, this is okay, some decent sort of heavy metal, bit of, you know, easy to listen to, and then he started like soaring, and I was like, wow, this is fucking cool, and I wasn't expecting it, and then I suddenly started like picking out a bit more of the sort of symphony and the kind of powerish sort of edge to it, and I found myself absolutely adoring it, and running straight across to the merch after to grab a t-shirt, because I thought they were fucking awesome.
Really good.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Dan,
see Scorer.
Yeah.
They were really, really good. I enjoyed them. I need to check out a little bit more. Once again, early in the morning. So
Fair enough. There was a gap, obviously, to the next band we wanted to see. So, Dan, you were with me at this point. Do you remember we went out to watch a little bit of Seething Akira?
I do, yes.
Fucking how good was that?
They were great.
Saw 2 tracks, and I wish I'd seen more. Not always the biggest fan on record, but live, man, the bounce, the pump, how energetic they were. And then they followed that up later by being gentlemen, absolute wonderful people to talk to as well. So, yeah, I loved them. When we were standing there, we were like, this is really fucking good. And I was like, look, I've got to go back in because the Tortured Demon about to start. Did you guys just wait inside for Tortured Demon?
Yeah.
What do you want to take away then with Tortured Demon?
I'll let Brendan start.
Yeah, I mean, I think like in a way, the vibe that I get with Tortured Demon at Bloodstock is kind of how like Evil Scarecrow kind of got adopted as a Bloodstock band, and there's a little bit of that I feel like Tortured Demon have got that same thing. Like they could play on any stage there and probably have like the biggest crowd of the day, in the same way that Evil Scarecrow will pull a crowd that will rival Megadeth, you know, because they're adopted in that way. And I think it's a wonderful thing. I also really like the fact that like Tortured Demons, I feel, have kind of outgrown that label of, you know, because they're young and it's the talent on stage. I thought they sounded really good. Really, really good. I think like having the second album out gives them that extra bit of catalog to it. The crowd loved it. The pits were going for it. It was a really, really strong showing from them. They're definitely still on the rise.
Dan, I know you watched a bit. What do you think?
It's not really my kind of thing. I can't deny that they are wondrously talented, though.
Fair enough. And of course, this is where the worst clash of the entire weekend came up, which was Ern on the main stage clashing partially with Tortured Demon. I had a choice, and it was an easy one to make. If anybody that knows my feelings on Ern, and we got super, super close. I think I left you guys, actually. I think I went first, and I think you all came up shortly afterwards to meet up.
I came with you.
Okay. We were pretty much right at the fucking front, which was phenomenal for this band. And I was a little bit worried because Ern 3-piece, music with depth, on that main stage, maybe it wouldn't work as well, but I thought they fucking owned it. I thought they belonged up there. The songs off the new album, A Feast and Sorrow, sound incredible live, emotionally captivating. I wanted them to keep playing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the clash was like really short, to be honest with you, because like it was only like a minute or something like that. Because I remember I watched the end of Tortured Demon, and then as I was walking along the back of the main stage area, I like to cut around to where we normally stand, and just started playing those intro notes.
Yeah, you lot were behind me really quickly.
Yeah, because I started recording, and I was like, oh, I can't believe they're starting off with this fucking song. You know, so I was recording while I was walking. So like in the video I've got on my phone, it's like me walking from one end of the main stage to the other, and then I kind of arrived there. So like we didn't miss like an awful lot, thankfully. But I agree with everything you said. Love the band. I think they sounded absolutely huge. The sound was phenomenal. The power in the vocals, the guitars, the emotion that they put out, both in the music and also in their faces. And like, you know, you can see it means an awful lot to them. New album sounded great. Old stuff still sounds great as well. You know, so yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, I can't say anything else on top of that.
Dan?
Yeah, they were good. I don't know much about them, but you've been raving on at me for long enough about them, so I felt like it was only right and just. I checked them out. I like them. Yeah.
December tour that happens to have a London date that falls on one of my best friend's weddings. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely stunned. Do I go to Lou Bailey's wedding, or do I go to Earn at the Boston Music Rooms?
I have Boston Music Room as well.
You know what I mean? I'm well torn.
I was going to say, oh, that sucks for the wedding.
Did anybody see The Grey or Swarms?
No.
What about Royal Republic?
No.
Vice?
No.
So then I think it was Tribe of Ghosts.
Yep.
And this was leading to an executive interview. So we were only able, at least, I mean, Brendan were only able to. Dan, were you with us for Tribe of Ghosts?
I don't think so.
No, so yeah, me and Brendan watched about half of this set. We saw 3 songs for sure, which included Sun Bernardino Rot and Hive. So the 2 newest tracks, which was awesome. They were phenomenal. They were phenomenal. I can't believe how far they've come in such a short amount of time. I think they're brilliant. The future seems so bright for them. I hope they continue this momentum and keep kicking ass with all these tracks. And yeah, I can see them moving up those stages again in future.
Yeah,
I agree. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them, and seeing the progression from New Blood, Sophie, and what they could do on the bigger stage was really good. Yeah, so really proud to go see them.
I have a shit memory generally, so I don't even remember seeing them on the New Blood stage. But I did think they were really, really good here. I think they did, like many bands in Sophie stage, there were a couple of those second mic kind of, you know, sometimes being a bit quiet and all that sort of stuff, but that's not on them. I thought it was really, really enjoyable. So yeah, I think they're strong. Good.
Cool. Right, I know we had interviews. So Lou and Dan, did we? Dan, no, you were with us during most of this as well. I know there was a section a little bit later on, but at first you were with us. Did you see Employed to Serve?
No, I went to go see Casket.
Oh, you saw Casket Feeder. How were they?
They were really good.
Yeah.
Shockingly. Really strong. Yeah, good crowd going. You know we are with Casket Feeder.
Great band, yeah.
Amazing band. So yeah.
We did watch a little bit of Crowbar, and that was it's Crowbar doing Crowbar stuff, really. I don't really think I've ever really seen them do anything bad. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Just good Crowbar stuff.
Yeah, same really.
I guess Dan, then you can take Not Loose. Tell us about Not Loose without talking about the glasses.
It's kind of hard not to. They were great. I've seen Knock Loose once before, and I think it was the best show I've ever been to. They sounded great. They played the 2 new singles they just released, which just were so good. The only thing I really fucking remember is losing my glasses, then it pissing it down like almost immediately afterwards. Like it put a real dampener on that. It really did. And it bummed me out because obviously they were the band I was most excited for over the entire weekend. So I'll have to catch them again.
Stop hardcore pitting with glasses. Get your contacts sorted.
I'm getting my contacts Thursday.
There you go then. You'll be sorted. I'll knock your contact lenses out instead.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody else in this section? So Skin Failure, I know, but then we sort of marked tangents, so it was okay. Mr. Keesis, unfortunately. New Blood, Extort, Bloodmoors, Dead Blonde Stars, Broken Calling, Daybreaker, Repulsive Vision, Primer.
No.
No?
No.
So I think we finished up and watched the end of Abath, didn't we, Brendan?
Yes.
Mm.
I actually left you a bit early. I think whether you were putting the gear back or something like that, maybe. So I was over there for quite a bit of
I only
Abath.
saw a song or two, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, like I understand, like for some people it's probably not their cup of tea, but he is what he is. He's a bit of a caricature of a man, and he sounded brilliant and played up to it, and he looked like he was having fun as much as you can look like you're having fun in corpse paint in the sun. But he looked like he was having fun, and he was playing with it, you know. He had lots of smoke, and he's doing lots of crab walking coming out of the smoke, and just being very Abbott and sounding good. So I really enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah, I was entertained.
Yeah.
So yeah, just old school. Like I said, one of them like bands that you want to say that you've seen as well. Like worth seeing. Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Mm.
What I saw, I thought was okay. I don't put them on a pedestal like others do. So it's just okay for me. But I didn't watch enough to really frame too strong of an opinion of it. Dan, what were you doing at this time?
God knows.
God knows. All right, Triptychon performing Celtic Frost. I know I watched some of this, again, purely for a tick box exercise more than anything else. However, I remember we said it during it, would enjoy this a lot more if it was just Triptychon. I make no apologies for this. I prefer Triptychon. It's a much superior band. I don't care for Celtic Frost. And other than being like, right, seen a few songs now. That was it for me. I love Tom G. Warrior. I love Triptychon. I'd have rather had Triptychon.
I didn't watch any of Triptychon performing Celtic Frost. I feel similarly to you on that. I don't know where I was, but I know I didn't watch any of it.
Well, your next one then would be Trollfest.
When we're drowned, I'm trying to work out that.
Just after Trollfest.
Oh, right, okay. So then I was at Trollfest then. Maybe I would have preferred Triptychon performing Celtic Frost. I actually thought Trollfest really, really tried hard. It was silly. You know, they was all dressed in like pink ballerina outfits. There's a lot of people because of their latest album about the Call of the Pink Flamingo or whatever it's called. So there's a lot of people there with inflatable flamingos. It's all the silliness you can imagine at this sort of thing, right? At some point in that show, I only know this because of somebody sent it for me because I couldn't hear the fucking vocals, so I couldn't tell what it was. But they did a Britney Spears cover of Toxic, and the only way you could tell was a person said to me that, oh, it's Britney Spears Toxic, and then other than that, there's a bit in that song that kind of does like like kind of noise, and that you could hear, but nothing else, no vocals, no nothing like that, and then just every now and then like that.
Yeah.
Which is it's all silliness, right? I get that. That's what the point is. It's meant to be silly. A conga line started like that was going like all the way around the Soviet tent. There was about 400 people in it by the end, and then as it got near the end of them like starting to give up on the conga line, they started sprinting. So it was a sprinting conga line going through a big crowd through the mosh pit and everything. It was just silliness, and all that was happening while I couldn't hear a single song, make out a single vocal, and it was almost like there was nothing but a drum solo happening on stage. So it was equally mental and shit and crazy and everything at the same time. But I actually liked Trollfest, so I was quite disappointed because I wanted to hear some of the songs. You know, so yeah, it was an experience.
Fair enough. I forgot to mention Muddy Brook, who actually was in between before Triptychon performing Celtic Frost. I didn't watch much on the Jaeger stage. It was mainly sort of standing back a bit. It was really, really busy. I like this band. Still, I've never really seen them properly yet.
No,
so looking forward.
Yeah,
festivals, it seems like. But then we want to talk about Waterlines on the Jaeger stage. So I had faith, was excited to see them. Couldn't believe how good they were. Like, genuinely so good. A bar setter. Like, Torture Dreamer once set the bar for the Jaeger stage. Waterlines have now set the bar for the new look Jaeger stage, as far as I'm concerned. That was phenomenal. It was actually disappointing to leave it early because we wanted to see Drowned, but that was phenomenal. Waterlines were brilliant. One of the best of the weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I was there for the whole thing. I even managed to crowd surf to one of the songs, which I didn't think was possible on that tiny little stage. I actually ended up, when I got over the barrier, I ended up going behind them. And I was like, fuck, I've gone the wrong way.
It's just like no security at that barrier. Who grabbed you?
No, I think. Oh no, sorry, one of the sound techs.
Fair enough.
But yeah, they were great. I'm surprised they sounded so big on such a small stage.
I really enjoyed it. It's good fun, and I do enjoy bands that get you jumping and moving together, and like Evil Scarecrow when you're scuttling, scuttling together. I like it. That's what I kind of compared it to. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Talking about, do you regret considering how positive we've been?
No, you guys don't know shit, do you? No,
you were watching Trollfest's drum solo.
I don't know what I was watching. Was that still at that time then?
Doing right in the bang of it, yep. Right.
Yeah, well, in that case, I regret it. I regret not just going and standing watching people buy chips. To be honest with you, but.
And then we all were reunited in a New Blood tent for Drowned, a curiosity watch based off music beforehand, but one that we hoped would be fascinating. And this was unique. And I love that Bloodstock continues to book bands like this, and a band like this can even get through the Metal to the Masses to win it and appear in this stage as industrial goth metal thing.
I remember them.
It was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Really did.
So did I. I thought they were fucking great. My missus loved them as well. We thought they were great. I remember feeling that there was like at times a kind of Prodigy vibe to them, but I also remember feeling that like there was quite a lot of darkness. Like it was very, very dark. Yeah, and I thought they just we see it sometimes and saw it a couple of times this year, and I'm sure there were other bands too in the previous years that you just look at a band and just go, how are you on a New Blood stage, man? Like, you already look like you should be high up on the Sophie stage, like you're at that level. I thought they were great, very talented.
I could see a lot of the New Blood bands appearing on the Sophie stage next year. Like I could see Drowned, for example, opening up the Sophie stage on the Thursday, stuff like that, But Dan, what did you think?
I think they sounded great to me. I think a lot of what Drowned doing, I've seen their music videos. It's a lot visual based, like stage show, the way they dress, stuff like that. I couldn't fucking see any of it. At that point, they were good. Yeah.
It's like you lost your train of thought in the middle there.
Yeah, you said something, but I didn't hear it. I was like, oh.
No, I'm just nodding along. Did you watch any of Meshuggah, Dan?
I don't know if I did. I feel like I might have watched like a little bit if I was still with you by the end of Drowned.
Well, we all went over. I think we might have grabbed the drink, and most of us went over for Meshuggah. But does someone else want to take this one away?
I don't mind. Okay, so for me, I'm not a fan of them on record. I've tried many times to get into it. I just it doesn't really sync with me. I was hoping that by seeing them live would change my mind, and maybe that would be like the turning point, because I know they're a popular band. It didn't. I found it quite uninspiring, and while yes, they sounded good and there were some cool lights and all that sort of stuff, I can imagine if I'm like a fan and I know the songs, it was a great show. For a casual, let's see what it's all about. It was too serious and a little bit boring. I found so. Yeah.
I do wonder with Meshuggah. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's amazing." Like, are we not standing in the right position, like place for it? Do you have to get like immersed in it? I don't.
But it shouldn't. It's not a headline performance then.
No,
I need to get right, like a fucking academy or something.
Yeah, no, I don't get that. But the fact that I think I prefer there's a cover band called Milk and Two Sugars. I think I prefer that more than Meshuggah overall. But they are. I say a few songs and I'm Meshuggahed out.
Yeah, I concur with everything. Really, for me, it was not a headline performance. I'm going to be hypercritical. I just expect bigger things. If you loved it, more power to you. I was bored, but we did actually watch all of it. That's the thing. We ended up watching all of it. So yeah,
I think I probably know more In Flames. I would have been happy with In Flames.
Well, from what Brendan said, it may have been Flames should have been a headliner from what Brendan was saying there. So you know what I mean. But I'm not convinced it'll ever happen again for Meshuggah, compared to where I am for Killswitch Engage. But when you start running out of headliners, they might come back. Yeah. Did anybody go see Brothers of Metal?
No, I really wanted to, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, nope.
Okay, Sunday it is. Raining in the morning. We trotted off over to the New Blood stage to check out the black metal band, atmospheric, emotionally captivating black metal band that was Offness. And I think Brendan kind of summed it up with another band before, Drowned, and it applies here. Way above New Blood already. Way too on it. Absolutely incredible start to the day. Loved them.
Yeah, I agree. Thought they were amazing. That's my next run to the merch stand. Yeah, they just sounded phenomenal, man. It's mad. I know that they don't really do it as in like headline slots and all that in the New Blood stage, you know, but like it's mad that they were like first on. I mean, they sounded like brilliant. Yeah, so I'm a big fan now. Woohoo, go them.
I always want to credit for them the fact that they last minute got moved to the Sunday as well. So, you know, they may have lost out a lot of people where things weren't updated in time. In fact, you had a lanyard that was well out of date and had Offness on a Saturday. Because you were saying to me, oh, they're playing Saturday. I'm like, no, they got moved to Sunday and stuff like that. So yeah.
So they still did really well.
Were you with us for Offness, Dan?
I am looking through the Sunday Clash final, and I genuinely don't remember seeing anything.
Were you at the festival? Did I imagine you were there?
No, I definitely was. I know I saw things on Sunday. I think it was a very tired day.
You know what? You you didn't just lose your glasses and not lose. You had a head injury. This is an undiagnosed head injury that we don't know about. Yeah. That's why you're forgetting it all. We did pop out to see a little bit of Dead Label. And this was really cool because this is the second time I've seen at Bloodstock where I didn't really have any expectations. I'm like, I think I like this band. And then the second time I've been like, this band's excellent. Yeah, I really like Dead Label. Would like to see a bit more of them.
Yeah, same. So watched a bit of Dead Label and thought they sounded absolutely brilliant. And they did get the crowd moving. They had everyone bouncing in sync and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they did good.
We went to see saw Elimination. Had their ups and downs, man, in recent years, and hopefully they get a bit settled now. But this was another phenomenal thrashy set. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. Good energy, especially like on a Sunday. You've got to work your asses off to get that going.
Yes, indeed. All right, we hit interviews. So between you and Dan, although Dan wasn't there at the festival, what did you see during this period?
My next one was Tuskar.
Tuskar, yeah.
And they were incredible.
Yeah, I'm gutted I missed them.
Me and Jen went to go watch him, and I was saying to Jen, oh, he's lost drumstick. Oh, no, that's his part of his drumstick sheared off because he's playing so hard. And just like grabbed another one, just kept on going. It's just so good. No frills, no backdrop. You just come out. It's just amazing. Yeah, anytime Tuskar are playing, I'm like, can I go?
They are an amazing band. And then, of course, interviews switched up. Take away Decapitated, Brendan. I think that was you went to see Decapitated. Did you see Tribulation?
No, Tribulation had finished by the time I went over there.
Right.
So yeah, it was Decapitated that I went over for. You know, they're a cool band, right? You know, I don't think a lot of people that have problems with Decapitated. They're very, very professional. They do a very, very good job. It's hard and it's heavy. It's fun. You know, it's kind of funny watching Vogue, you know, come out wearing Machine Head gear, you know, and then do the song that Rob Flynn sings on and play Rob Flynn over a tape. It's like these bands are blending a little bit now. But, you know, they're just like, they're high energy, man. They're noisy. They sound good. The front man with his mad dreads is really, really good with the crowd, like really gets people pumped and all that. So I thought they were fantastic.
Got to miss them.
No, I saw a bit of them, and the first time seeing Decapitated, and I was like impressed. So I was like, yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I do kind of get confused with a lot of these bands, like because it's Decapitated and Suffocation that I always get mixed up.
Okay.
Why. But no, Decapitated, definite winner.
Dan, jump in if you remember anyone that you did say, because after all the interviews, shutting down, last one was Tuskar, funny enough, as well. I raced over to see Goddeth in the New Blood stage, really excited to see them. Thought they did a really, really good job as well. I walked past Ugly Kid Joe with a scowl on my face because I made no secret about it. And people seem to have enjoyed it. I thought it sounded like shit, and I think the band is shit. It's as simple as that. So after that, I fucking hate that band. I really do. But hey, you know, we got to throw at the old ones for people to, you know, sing along to that one song. Two songs. Sorry, I forget. They've got 2 songs apparently. I only remember one. Yeah, I know it's harsh, but what are you going to do? And I think so. This is the Sepultura moment.
Just before, so on my way to Sepultura, I did stop for Skies Turn Black.
Good spot. Yep.
Yeah, so I watched myself and Gemma, like we managed to get like a nice position. You're at the side stage at the railing. There was no one standing there when we got there, so we're like, oh, grab that.
Nice.
So we were watching from the side. We watched like 3 songs. Really happy that they played This Too Shall Pass as well out of those 3, because that's like my favorite one of theirs at the moment. They were good. They were really good. High energy, as you would expect, you know, throwing themselves about on stage. They sounded like they were having a great time. They're a decent sized crowd for it. But I said I only stopped for the 3 tracks, and I carried on my trudge towards Sepultura.
Well, you carry that one on then, because we didn't see much of Sepultura. I think you watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, most of it. I got there for the beginning of it, and to be honest with you, for me, I without having seen Megadeth, the biggest crowd of the festival over the weekend, across the rest of everything that was there. You know, they sounded really good. You know, Derek Green is a phenomenal frontman. He's huge. Yeah. You can see him like from, I would imagine, 10 miles away.
Can I just jump in about that? So briefly during interviews, I poked my head and looking for a band inside it, and Derek Green was on the other side talking to one of the Bloodstock people, and I just stood, you know, when you momentarily go, and I was just like, I'm just looking at, I'm staring at him, stop staring at him, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. So yeah,
he's a big guy, but like he's got a powerful voice, and like he sort of, I don't know if he is, but he comes across like he's always smiling on stage and all that. Like he comes across like that sort of gentle giant sort of character, but I don't know if he is. He might be like a brute. But you know, they obviously come to make a mark. You know, dropping like Territory 2 songs in. You know, I was like, oh shit, something's going off here. And we were standing where we normally stand, you know, so close enough, but not like right in the mix. And that whole area turned into a pit, like everywhere. Like we ended up having to back out of it because it was getting like super aggressive out by where that Blind Guardian poster was. I was like, holy shit, this is going off. And he ain't even played like Roots or nothing like that yet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean they were again, I said it with In Flames, right? And honestly, you see the size of that crowd, you see the back catalogue they got, you see the way they're true professional, like you can see why they've been around a long time. And you look at that and you go like, yeah, surely there's a headliner, a Friday night headliner or something like that in the future.
You think that is a possibility?
I you know, like if you're pulling like 90% of the festival, you know, and turning the whole of that standing area into a pit, you know, that was for Territory. I wasn't there at the end, so I didn't see like I would imagine, I'm sure they did, where they dropped Roots and stuff like that. I imagine it went off, you know. And I think if you can pull that sort of a crowd there, then you got to be like somebody surely at Bloodstock taking notice of that and going, oh, okay.
We did watch a bit of it. Thought they were phenomenal. Absolutely. When we did watch them, yeah, it sounded phenomenal. It really did. It was an impressive crowd. And we really realized the size of Sepultura's crowd when we went to go see Outer Gods in the New Blood tent, who unfortunately probably got the smallest crowd I'd seen all weekend in there. But you wouldn't know it based off the craziness of people in there, but also the band themselves. So Outer Gods, I mean, they're kind of making a name for themselves really based off who is in that band. It's a combination of Evil Scarecrow, Raised by Owls, a couple of others and stuff like that, and they're sort of underground super group, as it were. But the debut album comes out the 1st of September. It is phenomenal, but they are extreme metal. It's not comedy metal. It is harsh and heavy. I was looking forward to it. I didn't think it was going to be this good. I fucking loved it. I was tired by this point, but this is a proper injection of energy. Brilliant stuff. Came away thoroughly impressed by them. Yeah,
I do like it when bands see a crowd that's smaller because you're competing with the dons of Sepultura, and just get on with it because you love playing music. So it's just right.
Well, he acknowledged it as well. He said, like, thank you for coming in here. Not seeing Sepultura, basically, you know. It's like, yep, we're there. So yeah, it's awesome stuff. Right, I know we saw Embodiment next. Well, we'll do Embodiment, and then Dan, you did see Levain and .bhp, because I remember that. So you were there for those. Embodiment, yeah, really enjoyed them. A lot more fun than I expected. Thought it'd be a lot more serious, but
Yeah,
turned out, I should have guessed by the interview we did with them that they were going to be a little more fun, but it was fun.
No, I'd not heard anything beforehand. They did a song about cats called Beasts.
Yeah.
I quite like they're obviously cat lovers, so. But I definitely enjoyed them.
And they're supporting Waterlines at the New Cross Inn at the beginning of September. So yeah, looking forward to that gig. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Dan. Brendan, were you packing up at this point? No, we were packing up together. When did we did that earlier in the day, didn't we?
I
Yeah.
think it was early. I think it was during Ugly Kid Joe, actually.
It was, yeah, actually, that's right, because we came back from, we came back to the arena, and I said to you, I wanted to go see Skies Turn Black, but I hadn't eaten all day, and I said to you, look, I've got to eat. Yeah, I remember. What were you? So, what was the next one you saw? Zealandado.
Yep.
All right, Dan. Then you do Levain and .bhp.
I was super duper struggling for energy by this point, but Levain started. I've never heard of them. I was kind of just in there waiting for BHP. And they gave me a lot of energy. Like, it was just stupid hardcore. It was fun. And it really perked me up. Gave me a bit more energy to get through to the rest, the last of the night. And BHP were also great. They had like full-on decks on their stage because, you know, they're like new metal from Poland.
Yeah.
They were like doing like live vinyl scratching and stuff in between songs. It was really cool. Super fun to watch.
They were nice guys to talk to. They were one of the interviews we had where someone, I don't know if he's related to the band or manager, whatever, was kind of going around going, can we fit him in? And we ended up.
I think he was the Metal to the Masses Poland
promoter.
promoter.
Oh, that's cool. Came over with them. All right. Because they're quite young, so maybe, yeah, all right. Yeah. Right, Zealandado. I'll say at the first thing, they are not a Sophie Lancaster stage band, and hopefully this was proven by this absolutely ram tent and headlining performance. I'm not saying they should be on the main stage headlining or anything like that. They should. Well, no, they need a few more albums maybe before that. But they are proven over and over again that they are a main stage band, and this was a good example of that. And this even included songs that I don't really care for. But, you know, they're still good Zealandado songs. By having them in the Sophie tent, I felt like there was a little bit lacking because of the sound issues. But for the most part, I don't think it really affected them. And it wasn't too much of a show in that regard. I was hoping when I saw the backdrop go up, I thought, oh, good. Maybe we're going to get like a show here. We didn't really. That's my only complaint. Beyond this, man, it's the last band I saw, we all saw. It's Zealandado. How many times is this now? It's at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were, you know, a continuing Sophie mic issue, so some of the stuff was a bit muted at times. But I had an absolute blast in there. Like, I thought they were phenomenal. Thought it was a good crowd. You're right, it was absolutely heaving.
Yeah.
You know, like you sort of stand shoulder to shoulder with people. There weren't no moving like left or right too much. But it was a good crowd. You know, that I shouldn't be, but I guess in a way I was maybe a little bit pleasantly surprised about how into them the crowd were, like to the point like when they were leaving and he was sort of trying to say thank you to the crowd, like the crowd just kept raising the cheers higher, so almost to stop him being able to talk. You know, and that was really like quite cool to watch. Thought they sounded good. I know they're not really I think it's the style maybe as well a little bit, while there's not too much in the way of showmanship. Maybe they might bring that at some point in the future, who knows, or maybe not.
Yep.
I think it makes such a difference though, because in a way, I think the last time we saw them, there was illness in the band, weren't there, or COVID in the band, so it was a little bit more stripped back, which was still cool. But in a way, watching like those two additional vocalists, because I don't think it's not fair to call them backing vocalists, right? They're more than that, right? They're like 3 singers in the band. You know, and the way they sort of throw themselves around and all that almost becomes like a bit of a show, you know, itself.
You are right. Your eyes are on Manuel automatically, but if you focus on what's going on around him, there's some incredible shit going on there.
They're a really tight band, like and I had a really good time. Really enjoyed it, and I was really kind of happy to sort of sign off with that being my last memory of this year's Bloodstock.
Dan?
I enjoyed them. I really struggled to get in though, because I think they were like 10 minutes into their set, so I really struggled to get in. I think Brendan, you said you saw me. It didn't sound too good where I was standing, and the set list was really not too tailored towards my tastes. Zealand, I love their first 2 albums, but anything after that, it loses me.
Each to our own.
You've judgmental face.
You?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the experience of seeing them. Once I got being a short ass, once you get like a little window, I was happy. Yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. I've always enjoyed the experience of seeing Leonardo. It feels everyone's there to watch them properly. I don't know if that sounds stupid, but like Brendan was saying, like the crowd were into them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a half-assed, oh, I'll check them out because they're here. There was like, no, I want to see this band.
There would have been curiosity watchers, but it did feel like a lot of people were there for them. If they do come back to Bloodstock in the future, they will be on that main stage, and it will be high up as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we call it, really. It's no secret that, we tend to almost always leave either during the headliners or after them slightly, depending upon what the headliner is. And straight up, not doing it for me these days. Megadeth live, certainly not. And while I would have liked to see Biohazard, there was no way I was going to have the energy to enjoy Biohazard. So it was like, nah, we called it and left. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's it. That's our rundown of bands we saw at Bloodstock 2023. Of course, we never see enough, but that is the price we pay for interview commitments and for eating and other stupid shit like that we shouldn't be doing. We should just be going to band. But hey, you never know. We might be a bit more like that next year. For now, what do you think about what we've said about the bands that we saw? Who did you see? You know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?